forecast for October 24th through the 28th, and weather looks warm, but a lot of clouds and quite a bit of drizzle and kind of light rain around. Not any heavy rain, but for the first half of the week. But we'll definitely be well above average temperature-wise, as we have been the last few days as well. So let's take a look at what's going on across the country. Here is why we're going to be cloudy and drizzly for the first part of the week. We've had this low pressure system kind of off the coast, off the eastern coast that is headed in our direction. And it looks like we get a sliver of dry air, except for the most part, this low pressure system from the central part of the country is going to kind of send some clouds and energy in our direction and some moisture, and it's going to kind of bridge the gap there, and we are going to get squeezed out of any of this clearer weather for the most part over the next day or two. Could see a peak of sun on Tuesday and on Wednesday. Definitely not impossible that we might see a peak of sun briefly, but for the most part, we're going to be cloudy. Not a lot of heavy rain, but drizzle and things like that. So if we take a look at radar, you can see what I'm talking about there in terms of where the radar is. A lot of rain over Texas currently, but this will all become more showery as it heads in our direction. And the rain here today from our system off the coast is also quite showery in nature. Matter of fact, a lot of it, very little rain actually fell last night. Radar looks a little more impressive than it is. There are a couple of pockets of more steady rain. Today's actually our best chance to get any steady rain. But again, nothing that's really going to do much except for maybe keep the ground wet over the next couple of days. Today's the one chance where we might get a quick few hundredths of an inch of rain. But really, it's not much. It's just enough to kind of keep it a little damp in the area over the next couple of days. As we look at the overall pattern, though, we are definitely with this. This is the upper level of the atmosphere, mid-level of the atmosphere, and you can see that we have a ridge, which just means that there's kind of high pressure dominating the eastern half of the United States, and a trough, which is usually cooler and more stormy weather to our west. And this is basically a complete flip of what the pattern was like last week, right? Last week we were pretty chilly across the eastern two-thirds of the country, and that really flipped entirely because the west was warm last week, and now we are warm, and it's chillier out west. This looks to persist through probably through next weekend, at least the overall trend through next weekend into early next week before we have a chance at once again getting into any colder weather. So for the most part, we're going to be above average temperature-wise, looks like for the next 10 days or so. If we take a look at temperatures, you can see that that reflects that as well. Not that it's overly cold out west, but we get a lot of 30s. Temperatures that are a little cooler than average in some of these locations out across the Rockies and across the east. You know, these look like our high temperatures from last week, where we're already in the 50s in a lot of New England, and to our west, actually, it's even warmer, and that's with all the clouds and things like that. So we're going to be warm, and we could get 70 tomorrow, even with clouds, which is not easy to do for late October. Yeah, let's take a look at that forecast. So today, light rain, the best chance of any steady rain, but still not a lot of that rain actually falling in terms of any of accumulation of rain. Like I said, maybe a tenth at the most for today. Temperatures, though, mid to upper 60s. Again, that's probably 5 to 10 degrees above average, 15 degrees above average tomorrow, Tuesday, probably. The average high this time of year is probably in the mid to upper 50s. So Tuesday, 70 degrees, well above average, way above average. And nice, would be a nice day, except for the fact there'll be some sprinkles around. If we get any sunny stretches, it'll feel really nice tomorrow. It'll feel like really it'll feel like September. Wednesday, again, not quite as warm, although close to the same temperatures. Starting off, you can see we're starting off in the mid-50s. Again, that's like last week's high temperatures. And you can see that we've got just a couple of sprinkles around on Wednesday. Again, not really much accumulating rain at all these 2 days, but there is a chance for that outside. For that sprinkle. I think with the warm temperatures, if you want to get out there and do something, I wouldn't worry too much about the sprinkles. Just be prepared that you could get a little wet, but you're not going to get soaking wet or anything like that. So this is not bad outdoor weather, really. Thursday, temperatures do fall back a little bit as we head towards the end of the week. But still closer to average by Friday. Friday's probably the coolest day we'll have over the next 10 days. But temperatures on Thursday around 60, more sun on Thursday. Friday actually has the most sun, even though it's the coolest. And we do start off chillier on Friday morning, kind of more typical for this time of year, with temperatures in the low 30s on Friday after a really warm week. So in terms of those work week highlights, warm and cloudy to start the week. No heavy rain, but lots of drizzle and sprinkles through midweek, through Wednesday, basically. Best chance for steady rain is today. And that won't be all day, but there'll be a couple pockets where we might get into some steadier rain today. Overall pattern looks warmer than average through the first part of next week, next 10 days or so. And Friday has the most sun. So otherwise, not a lot going on really weather-wise this week in terms of high impact events. But did want to kind of give you an idea of what was going on. I will be back with a look at your weekend forecast on Friday. I'll try to include a forecast then for Halloween. Right now, Halloween looks nice, but there is a storm sort of in the area. It's way too early to tell timing on that kind of thing. So right now, if I had to put a Halloween forecast together, I'd say it looks pretty good. But we'll have to give it a few more days to really be able to give you a real idea of what's going to happen. So I'll certainly have that to you by Friday, though. I'll make sure I get that on your weekend forecast. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel before, I would encourage you to do so. Helps make sure you don't miss any of my videos. And if you are interested in helping support what I do here at the West Weather Guy financially, you can do that by becoming a patron. And there's a link in the description below that describes how to do that. And otherwise, thanks for watching my videos. And I will be back, like I said, on Friday with a look at your weekend forecast.